Hey everyone, in today's video we're going to be talking about Ratchet Clank Rift Apart, but from the perspective of someone who's never played a Ratchet Clank game. Before we get into this review, I just wanted to praise Insomniac a little bit. Lately they have been on fire. 2018 Spider-Man was a massive hit and it put Insomniac games on my radar. And then in 2020 we got Spider-Man Miles Morales, which amazed me even more. And then only 7 months later we're getting a new Ratchet Clank game. It is a great time to be an Insomniac fan. Let's start off with the visuals of the game. Rift Apart is absolutely stunning. This game truly shows off the power of the PlayStation 5. I played this game in Performance RT mode, which is a good middle ground between fidelity and performance mode. This is one of the best looking games I've played in a while. It has this fun, slightly cartoony style while still retaining realism, and it consistently blew my mind away. The amount of detail here is insane. Sometimes I just stop playing so I can take in my surroundings and enjoy the beautiful views. The set pieces in this game really show off the amazing visuals and performance this game has to offer. In the first mission you are thrown around all over the place and you get to see these huge crazy action scenes, and it really sets the pace for the rest of the game and how crazy it gets. The gameplay in Rift Apart is good, but a little simple. It comes down to shooting and strafing, which does get tiresome after a while, but we get a new mechanic called the Phantom Dash, which is amazing for avoiding enemy attacks, and it makes the platforming aspect of this game more interesting. Also get to play as a new character named Rivet, but her gameplay is exactly the same as Ratchet's. There are also huge open areas to traverse and explore, and it's a lot of fun. The thing that makes gameplay really stand out is the huge arsenal you can have and level up throughout the game. There are so many unique and wacky guns to use that I never got tired of shooting away at the bad guys. My absolute favorite weapon is the lightning strike. It immobilizes enemies and it is so powerful. You also have a few puzzles where you can play as Clank. I thoroughly enjoyed these and it was a nice break from all the action you get from playing as Ratchet or Rivet. There are also little challenges you get to do as a character named Glitch, trying to eliminate viruses from different electronics. Enemy variety was great, and I enjoyed dealing with different types of threats and adjusting my strategy to defeat each one. On the other hand, boss fights were a little too heavy-handed. I felt overwhelmed with the amount of bosses I was required to fight. It seemed like I was fighting a huge boss every 10 minutes, and a lot of them were the same copied guy over and over, and I got tired of that pretty quickly. Rift Apart was surprisingly challenging at some points, although I did play on the second hardest difficulty. At times I felt like the game was unforgiving at dishing out damage to me, and I don't even know if it would be possible to do a no damage run, at least on this difficulty. But I also had to keep in mind that this was my first Ratchet & Clank game, so I was still getting used to this type of game. I definitely died quite a few times, but it always felt great to get past the difficult section. The game presented a good challenge to me. The story in Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart is serviceable. I had a basic idea of what was going on and why, character motivations, etc. But the story wasn't too deep, and maybe it didn't need to be. But I wish Insomniac really went more in depth on certain aspects of the story. The marketing really talked up Rivet and her dynamic with Ratchet, but I really don't get to see much of that. They don't even end up meeting until halfway through the game, and there seemed to be no urgency to do so. They hardly interacted with each other, and it didn't seem like they really got to know each other at all. The story was also pretty predictable. The characters would work hard to get a certain item or do something, and then the villain comes in at the last second to mess everything up. This happened several times, and after a while, it just got frustrating. The story does have a lot of heart though. There were a bunch of scenes I appreciated in the game, and it made me feel invested in the story. I was actually interested in what was going on, and I wanted to see Ratchet and Rivet's relationship grow and to see their dynamic. The humor in the game is top notch though. I found myself smiling and laughing the entire time, especially with this scene.
Oh, master of us all. Password, please.
Huh? Why do I need a password? I'm the Emperor. How about I obliterate you instead? Ha 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 ha!
Music in this game is an absolute treat to listen to. It added to the experience, and it was especially enjoyable when big moments were happening in the story. No complaints here at all. Insomniac always hits it out of the park when it comes to the soundtrack. All in all, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart is a great game that I had a lot of fun playing. There were a few things I wasn't quite happy with, but those things are overshined by the good aspects of the game, and you should definitely pick this up if you like action-adventure platformers and want to have a good laugh. So if you enjoyed this video and want to see more, feel free to check out this playlist of other videos I've made. Have a good one.